You created me to say everything you didn't have the balls to say, raps Eminem, or rather his alter ego Slim Shady, on Guilty Conscience 2, a track from his 12th album, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace. Over a dark, stormy instrumental, Eminem revisits the original song's concept, playing the bad guy to Dr. Dre's sounder mind to reflect on the damage Slim has inflicted on his career and artistry. By the end, M seems ready to pull the trigger on the character that brought out the darkest corners of his mind. Or is he? Paul, he tells his longtime manager Paul Rosenberg over the phone, I had this dream, it was crazy, the old me came back and took over my brain, making me say all this messed up stuff. It's a familiar trope to cap off an otherwise intriguing concept. This is often how Eminem gets in his own way, even when he's operating at the peak of his lyrical abilities. Like many of his albums, The Death of Slim Shady relies on themes he's explored repeatedly. There are numerous jabs at Caitlyn Jenner and Christopher Reeve, 20 years after his death, along with transphobia, fatphobia, homophobia, and insults aimed at the mentally disabled, all typical provocations from Eminem. Despite critics calling for his cancellation, a point noted in the album's breaking news interlude, this is expected from the 51-year-old rapper. No amount of controversial jokes will tarnish his legacy. However, the album ends up being what it shouldn't be at this stage of his storied career, predictable. Promised as a concept album meant to be experienced from start to finish, The Death of Slim Shady does introduce some fresh elements. It lets Slim Shady out for one last hurrah, successfully shocking and awing at times, but the concept wears thin as Slim's presence remains. After all, who is Eminem without Slim Shady? As seen on 2017's Revival, he can be mawkish and tepidly reflective without his alter ego. It's a no-win situation, lean too much into Slim Shady's explicit chaos, and it's callow and lowbrow, focus on keen observations of the world, and he loses his edge. Thus, Eminem largely opts for the former on The Death of Slim Shady, an album marked by technical brilliance but weighed down by crude subject matter. Eminem's reputation as one of the best rappers is evident in tracks like Renaissance, the album's opener, which skillfully plays with homophones. However, tracks like Brand New Dance fall flat, with tasteless jokes such as encouraging listeners to dance until you're wheelchair-bound, a dig at Reeves' paralysis. The album provokes mixed reactions. One might laugh or cringe at Eminem's humor, marvel at his lyrical skill in Lucifer, or be put off by dated references to Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. It challenges listeners to reconcile their moral standings with his provocations, questioning the meaning of political correctness. Yet, this territory has been explored by Eminem for decades. Where the album shines is in its moments of self-reflection. Temporary featuring Skylar Grey is a touching ode to his daughter Haley, featuring archival audio of her as a baby, serving as a remembrance of his love for her. Somebody Save Me, sampling Jelly Roll's Save Me, similarly apologizes to his children for prioritizing drugs over them. These tracks reveal the emotional intelligence and self-awareness that have contributed to Eminem's enduring legacy. He remains a contradiction, capable of deep introspection but not above inserting crass jokes. In this way, The Death of Slim Shady offers more of the same, a mix of the brilliant and the crude, reflecting the duality that defines Eminem's career.